And right now at 6, downpours, flooding, even a brief tornado warning. We're tracking the latest storms sweeping across the Bay Area and a look at the dry spell headed our way. Plus another year with no homicides in the Bay Area city that once had the nation's highest murder rate.
It was the people. The people literally organized it.
How East Palo Alto put that decades-old narrative to rest. And college students in Oakland kick off the new semester at a new campus. How students and neighbors are reacting to the new downtown digs.
It's nice. It's all brand new and shiny, so I like it.
And later, how a pop-up business is helping other business owners find footholds in downtown San Francisco.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Well, take a look at this. Good evening at 6. We're starting off the week with another first alert weather day. So the last of the series of strong storms moving across the Bay Area. Tonight, you can see our live radar Doppler lit up like the house that leaves its Christmas lights up through January. Hey, right here. Right now, it's the eastern and southern counties getting hit the hardest, especially the Santa Cruz Mountains. So let's take a live look from our photographer, Jim Flanagan. Thank you, Jim. He's along Highway 17. That entire stretch is notorious for snarled traffic during downpours. So you can see visibility is tough right now. Roads are slick. And Jim, take it easy, please. This latest round of rain comes after 3 days of major flooding in parts of Marin County. And then extreme king tides combined with the storm surge left streets and even an entire shopping center underwater. Now people around the Bay Area are hunkering down for the last downpour. So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan, who is tracking this impact. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, the rain has been falling for most of the day closer to the coast and in San Francisco. And now that rain is pushing farther to the east. We do have a number of flood warnings and flood advisories in effect right now. Some of those not popping up on this current map, unfortunately, but you can see some of those farther off to the north. Let's take a look at First Alert Doppler. And this is showing up and showing that widespread rain. The back edge of the steadiest rain has now been making a little bit more of an eastward push. Let's take a look at that 2-hour loop once again. You see the heaviest rain making its way just a little bit farther to the east, but it's going to take the next several hours for the rain to start to wind down. Here's a look at Futurecast through midnight. And while we're going to see the showers tapering off, they don't stop entirely. Another little wave of moisture trying to spread some light to moderate rain back into the Bay Area by about midnight. But it's later tonight and into early tomorrow morning that the rain is largely going to fall off the radar entirely. Can't rule out the possibility of a couple of rogue showers, a couple isolated sprinkles as we go through the day on Tuesday, but those are going to be very few and far between. This is the last round of widespread rain that we're going to be tracking in this very unsettled pattern that's been lasting for the past several days. Over the past 24 hours, almost 2 inches of rain in San Rafael, about 1.33 inches in Ben Lomond, just over 1 inch of rain in Santa Rosa, and just over 3/4 inch of rain in downtown San Francisco. You would be forgiven if you thought the numbers were a little bit higher than that based on the rate at which it was raining in the city for much of the afternoon. But as we head through the rest of tonight, again, the rain is gradually going to quiet down, and now we're going to enter into a quiet weather pattern. Details on how long that looks like it's going to last coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Paul, see you soon. Now, parts of Corte Madera were hit hard by the king tides over the weekend, submerging neighborhoods in several feet of water. While residents and business owners were still cleaning up the damage, they had sandbags to keep the water out. We spoke to one person who was still dealing with the flooding this afternoon. He said his family has been using a kayak just to leave their house.
Nothing compared to this. And everybody I've spoken to here that's been here for 20 years, they've never seen anything like this. Taking it day by day, and if it doesn't kill us, might as well enjoy it.
Local officials say this was an extreme tidal event that exposed flooding vulnerabilities. The town manager says they are still assessing the scale of the damage. Flooding at an AT&T communications hub in San Rafael caused 911 service to temporarily go out in Marin County last night. So calls were later rerouted to the Novato Police Department, which was not impacted. The outage also affected cell phone and non-emergency landline service. Police say the problem was resolved by 1 this morning. All right, Paul and the rest of our weather team, we have got you covered all night long. Stay with us on the air, streaming on the free CBS News app and on KPIX.com. All right, now to a developing story out of Antioch. Police say an 11-year-old girl was shot in the head by an apparent stray bullet while sitting in her family's car. So Antioch police say it happened just after 12:30 this afternoon in the parking lot of an apartment complex off Delta Fair Boulevard, and that's near the Summersville Town Center Mall. The girl was in the passenger seat as her family was leaving the complex. She was rushed to a children's hospital in Oakland, where she is now in stable condition. No arrests have been made. We're just 5 days into January, and Oakland has already seen 5 homicides this year. Over the weekend, 3 people were killed in a shooting at the Sky Market near 85th and International. Police arrived just after 3 Saturday morning and found 3 men with gunshot wounds. 2 died at the scene, and the 3rd person died later at the hospital. Police are still searching for the shooter. An online fundraiser shared this photo of one of the victims. His family says he was a father of 3 who was at the wrong place at the wrong time. The violent start to 2026, that is coming off a year where Oakland was really among the many major cities that saw its murder rate plummet. So last year, Oakland recorded 57 homicides, down more than a quarter from 2024, and the fewest since the late 1960s. San Francisco saw a 70-year low in homicides with 28. And San Jose, which usually has the fewest homicides of the major Bay Area cities, saw a slight drop to 26. Meantime, East Palo Alto did not record a single homicide in 2025. In fact, the city has seen just 1 in the past 3 years. John Ramos dives into the stunning turnaround from the city once known as America's murder capital.
East Palo Alto is a working-class community nestled in the heart of the Silicon Valley tech industry. But 30 years ago, this city earned an infamous title that, thanks to community effort, they are now officially putting to rest. On New Year's Day, the East Palo Alto Police Department had an important announcement. There were 0 homicides in the city for the entire year. That may not be surprising for a lot of surrounding communities, but for EPA, it's a big deal. In 1992, the tech industry was just getting started, but East Palo Alto already had a booming business: drugs. Sharifa Wilson remembers what it was like.
Residents used to complain because on their way home from work, they would have to stop and watch a drug deal go down before they could proceed down the street, because people were coming from all over the place to purchase drugs in East Palo Alto.
And with it came crime and violence. In 1992, the city of 25,000 residents tallied 42 murders, making it the deadliest city per capita in the country. And the entire country took notice.
This is the most dangerous neighborhood in America. Not Washington, D.C. or Detroit or Los Angeles, but a small California town, East Palo Alto.
This is the murder capital of the state. We've got to get more help in here.
With only 3 officers patrolling the city at any given time, the police were overwhelmed and outgunned. But the residents were fed up, and they got involved. Sharifa was a newly elected mayor when the effort began.
It was the people. The people literally organized. There was a group that formed that called themselves Just Us, because their position was that it would only take just us to solve this problem.
They took to the streets, taking down license plate numbers of those coming in to buy drugs, and they formed a working relationship with the police, calling on neighboring communities and the state and county to bring in extra officers. But they also reached out to the young drug dealers, offering them jobs as an alternative to jail.
I remember I was on a patrol team and we went to a shooting every single day.
The city's current police chief, Jeff Liu, says the change has been remarkable. He says everyone working together to offer both support and accountability has helped turn the tide. 2023 was the first year with 0 murders, and the city created medallions to commemorate the achievement.
I would love for this not to be a story. I would love for us to be like our neighboring cities where no murders is the norm. No murders is accepted. So that when we announce we had no murders, you're all, yeah, that's what we expect from you. That's what we want.
The city still has financial challenges. The police department has been operating out of temporary trailers for the last 20 years. But by repeating another year of 0 homicides, East Palo Alto's old title of deadliest city in America is officially dead and buried.
The police chief says he hopes the community's support is still alive and well. The city is asking residents to approve an upcoming bond measure that would provide a new police headquarters. A fire at a San Jose Buddhist temple caused the roof to collapse this morning. It is the second time this temple has burned in as many years. The fire broke out just after 5:30 this morning at a mixed-use Buddhist temple on Foss Avenue. The building was empty at the time and no injuries were reported. The cause is still under investigation. Well, back in May of 2024, a fire at the temple caused significant damage and displaced 4 residents. It is opening day at Samuel Merritt University's new downtown Oakland campus. The Health Sciences University is considered the state's largest nonprofit nursing school. The building will welcome 2,500 students and faculty. And as Kelsey Thord reports, there's hope it could help boost the city's downtown revitalization.
As college students across the country head back to class this week, students at Samuel Merritt University in Oakland came back from the holiday break to a brand new campus.
There's a lot of windows, so it's very good views. We have balconies. It's nice. It's all brand new and shiny, so I like it.
Monday marked the very first time classes were held at the new downtown campus on 12th Street. The school is moving from a space rented from Sutter Health on Telegraph Avenue. SMU President Tsinghua Wang told us it was exciting to finally see the new space filled.
Especially when you see all of the students and faculty and staff coming through and going into the classrooms and exploring all different corners and to the terrace, to the simulation lab, all over the place. And it's just fantastic feeling.
The 10-story building houses around 2,000 students, many of whom are in the university's nursing program. The new campus offers students state-of-the-art technology and learning tools, as well as a location smack dab in the heart of Oakland.
For us, it was perfect. I mean, the commute, if you come from San Francisco Airport, it's 35 minutes from gate to door. If you get from 12th Street to classroom, it's a minute and a half. And so to be central is phenomenal. And at a point in time when much of the city is kind of looking for ways to either support remote or go elsewhere, we're doubling down.
That has many nearby businesses very excited. Alec Ghaffori owns a sandwich shop right across the street in Oakland City Center. He told us he's hopeful the new campus may be just what this area needs to really get business going again.
Momentum is everything. So obviously, building a positive momentum in the area, it actually helps. It could have a dominoes effect because, it could bring in other businesses. It could help support a lifeline to some of the existing businesses that are on the edge.
Already on the first day of classes, Alec's business saw customers from the college, including Brittany, the student we spoke with. She told us she loves the central location of the campus, and in addition to breaking in the new building, she also can't wait to explore the surrounding area even more.
But it was easy. I took the train, and we have this plaza right here with all the food and stuff, so it was cool.
University leaders hope the new building will help double the university's enrollment in the coming years. All right, still ahead, right here at 6, a San Francisco institution demolished to make room for a new era at Fisherman's Wharf. Plus, it's more than just retail space, how San Francisco's popular pop-up program is helping fledgling entrepreneurs find a footing. The Port of San Francisco has begun demolishing the landmark Alioto's seafood restaurant building as part of its $10 million revitalization project. Heavy machinery was brought in today. Crews removed the famous Alioto's fish sign. The demolition is expected to last until late February. A few people were sad to see the building go.
It's a little bit hard because it's been there 100 years already.
It'll be missed. It'll be greatly missed. It's part of the fabric of San Francisco.
Still, the Port of San Francisco is celebrating its future as a new public plaza. Meantime, the fish sign will go into storage until the port can find a permanent place for it. So as the chapter closes on Alioto, San Francisco is doing its best to support new restaurants and food service businesses. That includes help from grants and programs like Vacant to Vibrant. Our Kenny Choi shows us how pop-up spaces are being used to help aspiring entrepreneurs, including food truck owners who dream of opening a brick-and-mortar store.
Hi. Of course. 49.
Inside Tokachi Musubi food truck, parked for the day in the heart of Union Square, it's a grind for Erica Yokoyama and a staff of 2.
We start working like 7 a.m. to maybe we finish work like 9 or 10.
She's a single mom selling musubi, rice wrapped with dried seaweed, and a choice of shrimp, chicken, spam, or vegetables. Yokoyama launched her food truck nearly 3 years ago, constantly pivoting to better manage her growing business.
How to run business, how to, for example, like how to manage inventory and calculate the costs.
Food truck owners like Yokoyama were recently invited to a food entrepreneur workshop. Matt Cohen is founder of Off the Grid, which hosted the event inside its newly opened Union Square pop-up in coordination with Vacant to Vibrant.
We have all these connections to hundreds of different food businesses that we work with every week, and we wanted to help to facilitate just more knowledge, more awareness of how to run their businesses better.
Off the Grid will run a 6-week activation featuring events and art, including a free 3-week workshop pairing veteran restaurateurs with aspiring brick-and-mortar owners.
Downtown's changing, and there are opportunities for small businesses to be involved in working in downtown.
Hi.
Back at the Musubi truck, Peter Tobias, an artist and Uber driver on the side, believes his boss has the drive to take the next step, whatever that will be.
One thing I'm really impressed about is how she fearlessly went into this.
Yokoyama has dreams of opening a brick and mortar one day. She explains Musubi can also mean something else in Japanese.
The meaning is a connection, so I want to connect to the people.
She's bringing a taste of her homeland to the Bay and finding helping hands along the way.
Yokoyama says Takachi Musubi has been invited to open a pop-up store at One Market Plaza this month. All right, Super Bowl prep underway in Santa Clara a month out from the big game. And today the city closed a key road near Levi Stadium as part of its safety and security plan. So Stars and Stripes Drive is now closed to public traffic and won't reopen until February 22nd. That includes the Tasman Drive ramp and the bike path. All shuttles, parking, and ride-hailing services for the Great America Rail Station are being relocated. Super Bowl 60 is Sunday, February 8th. Coming up, get ready for a break from the rain. Paul looks at how long the upcoming dry spell could last.
It has been a wet start to 2026, and today is just a continuation of that trend that's about to come to an end after the rest of tonight. Now, the upper level heart of this storm system is still swirling away out over the Pacific here. That's going to drive some more showers across the Bay Area tonight, but as this translates across the Bay Area overnight and pushes farther and farther to the east, it's going to help to push the moisture away from us. Still a chance of a couple of hit or miss showers over the next couple of days, but they are going to be much more miss than hit. Rain chances are going to be lower than 20%. But let's take a look at what's on First Alert Doppler right now. And we still have widespread light to moderate rain. Some of the heaviest rain extends through the East Bay right now from around Concord down the 680 corridor and then down towards the Santa Clara Valley. That is going to get pushed farther and farther east, but you see more showers lining up offshore. So this intermittent shower pattern is what's going to take over for the steady rain that we had for so much of today. Here's Futurecast through 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll just wind the clock forward through most of the night. You see the showers becoming more sparse as we go through the late night and very early pre-sunrise Tuesday morning hours, but the rain doesn't entirely stop until after sunrise. From 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., you notice that the showers do just kind of fall apart. We are not going to see much more than one of those hit or miss sprinkles here and there during the afternoon, mainly higher elevations where the population's a little bit lower. And as we go from tomorrow afternoon through Wednesday morning, still the potential, lower than 20%, of maybe a sprinkle or two here and there, but I don't think we're going to see any more measurable rainfall once we get past about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then once the forecast dries out, it is going to stay dry for a while. Here's a look at the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for rainfall in this brown shaded area that includes most of the western U.S. That is a strong signal towards below average rain, near zero rainfall in that time frame for the Bay Area. And the 8 to 14 day outlook continues that trend. So the next couple of weeks, potentially, once tonight and early morning showers wind down tomorrow, we're going to be staying dry for much of the rest of January, if the long-range data is to be believed. So it's kind of a all-or-nothing pattern that we've been in for much of the rainy season so far, and that does not look like it's going to change as we go through the rest of this month. How much additional rain? Not a whole lot. We're talking a few tenths of an inch on the high end of the spectrum, mainly in the Santa Cruz Mountains and a little bit farther down to the south. So in terms of additional flooding problems, not likely to see too many more of those developing, but any existing flooding issues may take a little while for those to slowly recede because of the rain that continues to fall right now. Temperatures are in the low to mid 50s across the entire Bay Area at the moment, so it is kind of a chilly rain that is falling at the moment. Temperatures tomorrow, once we see the showers winding down, should return to pretty close to what's normal for this time of year, which means a mix of 50s and 60s by tomorrow afternoon, specifically up into the low 60s in Fremont and in San Jose, the Santa Clara Valley getting up mostly into the low 60s by tomorrow afternoon. Some of the cooler spots will be in the North Bay, but even there, you're likely to reach up into the mid to upper 50s. Eventually, as we get into this dry, calmer pattern, we're going to have to watch for a return of the pattern that we saw for the first half of December, when that tule fog in the Central Valley was so stubborn and really had impact on temperatures inland in the East Bay and the interior valleys of the North Bay. That's more likely to be a factor by the beginning of next week. So in the short term, we're going to see more sunshine, especially by Thursday and Friday, with temperatures across the entire Bay Area running in the mid to upper 50s and low 60s, very close to what is normal for the first half of January. Jules?
Paul, thank you. When we come back, new impacts from this latest storm will take you to the mudslide in a community along the Russian River. We're just moments away from a new era for the CBS Evening News. Tonight, Tony DeCopel takes over the anchor desk of the historic program. Tony has been helping us wake up on CBS mornings the past few years, and tonight's Evening News broadcast follows the latest out of Venezuela. Tony.
Good evening. Tonight, President Maduro and his wife pleaded not guilty in a New York City courthouse to federal drug charges. We're going to break down the case against the former Venezuelan president ahead on the CBS Evening News.
Tony, thank you. And we just got new video of the storm's impact in Sonoma County. So here it is, a mudslide along the lower Russian River. It is closing part of Highway 116. The river is eating away at a stretch of the highway. This happened just after 4 this afternoon. Eastbound traffic is being diverted onto the westbound lanes. PG&E is also on scene as some power lines were taken down. Highway 116 goes along the Russian River from Guerneville to the coast. We've reached out for more information. We will bring that to you at 7 o'clock. All right, meantime, the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopel is next on KPIX. We'll have local news at 7 o'clock. See you then.